if you actually put a little effort into it,
Yes.
it usually turns out better than when you just kind of pull it out of your wherever.
I don't know.
So,
We've had some of our best superlative segments when we pull it out of our butt.
Well,
I
I have a feeling that's what yours is going to be. So we can contrast the two of ours. Go ahead. You're up first.
Well, I'm going to give the our matey walk the plank award, okay, to the Oakland Raiders. You got to walk the Las Vegas Raiders. Sorry, you got to walk the plank. You lost. You got COVID too. Get off this ship. But either way, okay.
COVID is worse than scurvy.
I know. Sorry, I had to take that little shot there. But, I mean, really, I want to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, they made the Las Vegas Raiders in the battle of the Pirate Buccaneer patch game, whatever. They made them walk the plank. And the Buccaneers, as you said, earlier in the show and something we've been saying for the last week, more and more just look like, to me, they look like the most complete team in the NFC. There's not a weakness to their football team. They're really not. And with John Gruden and their O-line having, lack of practice, man, this isn't the team you want to have lack of practice against. Not that Buccaneers front seven. That's as good as anybody in football. And, we played the clip with Gruden talking about lack of pass rush. Yeah, that's the problem with the Raiders. Their front is not good. It's below average front. And that's just not good either. When you're playing Tom Brady and that Buccaneers offensive line that is really playing good and can dominate you in the run game and then can protect him all day long too. I mean, Brady, he looked phenomenal yesterday. I mean, I don't think he threw one ball where I went, oh, that wasn't a perfect spiral. He put that right where he wanted to. I mean, he was very, very impressive. I mean, a ton of pep in his arm still. But I again, just go back to them. And right now I just go, man, when it comes to offense, balance, running the ball, short passing game, deep passes, defense, being able to stop the run and make plays, turnovers. They can trust their corners in man-to-man situations. I don't. Who else can you say that about in the NFC right now? I don't think there's another team you can talk about that like. So to me, the Bucs are just more and more every week. It just goes, ooh, watch out. There might be the best team in the NFC. After last night, are you going to put them ahead of them? You're going to put them ahead of the Seahawks now?
Whatever. Yes. We'll see about the power rankings. Maybe.
Okay.
But let me say this.
Yeah.
Whatever the league does to the Raiders, whatever it may be, and it's not quite clear what the league is going to do generally when it comes to teams that have COVID-19 protocol violations that force schedule changes. The Titans were fined $350,000. There are people around the league who were stunned that it was only $350,000 because the league was sending out very clear messages to teams that they were going to hammer the Titans. And there's a theory out there that the Titans pushed back hard, the Titans pushed back aggressively, and the Titans may have found some sort of a flaw in the investigation that caused the NFL to back off and only fine them $350,000 for causing two different games to be moved and for causing the facility to be shut down for an extended stretch. Now people are wondering what happens to the Raiders for all the stuff that they've had go wrong, the accumulation of COVID-19 violations. But you know what? The worst punishment may have been to force John Gruden to play the Buccaneers
at a
time when he thinks his guys are unprepared.
Right.
And I feel like that's part of this effort by the NFL to address teams. And this kind of gets to your point of just make them forfeit if they're not ready to go.
Yeah.
Make them go play if they're not ready. Make them go play if their starting offensive line didn't practice all week because they were put into the enhanced COVID contact list protocol where they're not allowed to be around the team. And that may have been punishment enough. I was told yesterday morning John Gruden was livid that they had to go forward to that game on Sunday. He wanted it to be Monday or Tuesday. I wanted it to be Monday or Tuesday because I wanted to watch it.
Yeah, me too.
Who saw it yesterday? Yeah. It's a 4:05 regional kick Eastern time. But that may be the punishment. And the other thing, I think the reason they push forward with it, if you delay it by a day or two, you never know how many positives are going to pop up in the next 2 days, especially when you're dealing with the Raiders.
Right.
Let's get this game played.
Yeah.
While the planets are lined up, let's play this damn game and move on to next week.
Yeah, that's right. And again, I mean, I'm not. Why let these teams off the hook with some of this? I mean, again, the Raiders of all team are not the ones we're going to give a free pass to. Not at this point. I mean, okay, you've already used your free pass. You already got your get out of jail free card. You lost that. Now you had to play, and yeah, it stinks. It really does. It was a horrible group to have injured too in that football game. Wow, to have to deal with that. But yeah, I was surprised Tennessee. I heard some of the same things you did. I thought Tennessee was going to get the hammer laid down on them. I don't know, but maybe this is what the NFL does going forward. They kind of just force the issue and make your team play.
Yeah, I think that's part of the punishment.
Yeah.
You just got to play. You're not ready? Too bad.
Right.
You had 5 guys, missed the whole week of practice? Too bad. You got this going on? Too bad. You got to play. I know. Yeah, it's a subtle and indirect homage to one of the best scenes in Goodfellas, but we can't use the language that they use in that film. So anyway, another point from that game yesterday.
Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski. Here's another little on-the-fly trivia question for you. Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady, now including the postseason. This is courtesy of the NFL's 7 from Sunday. Excellent service they put out every Sunday night with statistical significance and oddities from the games. Gronk and Brady have combined for 92 touchdown passes, regular season and postseason. That ties them with who? Second most all-time quarterback receiver.
I want to say it's either Jerry and Steve or Peyton and Marvin. I'm going to say it's Jerry and Steve, right?
Well, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
And first place with 114 is the other two, Peyton and Marvin. Peyton and Marvin, 114. Steve Young, Jerry Rice, 92. Brady and Gronk,
Mike,
92.
Mike, Gronk's back. He's back. Like, he looked like Gronk yesterday to me. Just the way he ran. I mean, he's finally out of mud. I don't, like you talked about early in the year, but like his knees can actually lift in the air and run now, and running over the middle, taking big shots. Like, that was like, whoa, okay, yep, we've seen this story before. It might be a different city, and we were Patriots, but now we're Buccaneers. So what? Same damn combination. Like, I'm not saying he's back to the Gronk 5 years ago, but he's back to the Gronk of, oh, wait, we're playing the Bucs. We have to have a plan for him in certain situations and formations, and that's just another weapon to go with Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin, and Leonard Fournette, and Jones, and all that. Like, watch out, Bucs.
But here's part of the problem.
Yeah.
And I love Bruce Arians, but BA's been spewing plenty of BS this year. And it was back in August where he said that Gronk looks like he did 5 years ago. So, okay, coach, let's see it. And he is in slow motion for the first 6 weeks of the season. And now he's finally starting to come around, so it takes 3 months for him to get in football shape. But don't tell us he looks like he did 5 years ago, because he doesn't. And but he's getting there, and that's good news for the Buccaneers, especially with O.J. Howard out for the year, and now Antonio Brown's going to join the team.
What's your next superlative you stayed up all night for? Can you get to it already? It seems like you're delaying this forever and just talking about mine.
I haven't even gotten to one yet.
Yeah, look. Now
how about this?
Okay, how about
this? Well, I got my notes here. I want to pick the best one. I got a bunch to choose from. I got like 10 of them. How about the Bizarro Brian Westbrook Award? Do you know what I'm referring to when I say Bizarro Brian Westbrook?
The old Todd Gurley didn't put the brakes on quick enough award?
Yeah. And it was 2007. It was an Eagles-Cowboys game, and the Eagles were leading late. And if you score, the Cowboys get the ball back, and in theory they could score and get an onside kick, and you're better off keeping possession and killing the clock. So Westbrook went down, and it was smart, and it was unselfish, and it runs counter to everything that we want to see in today's fantasy football-driven NFL. Todd Gurley tried to do that yesterday against the Detroit Lions. Tried is the key word, creating one of the all-time great NFL visuals where Todd Gurley tries to stop short, fails to stop short, crosses the goal line, and it's a member of the Lions defense who is in celebratory fashion throwing his hands up saying, touchdown. It's unbelievable. And there's a photo of that making the rounds that it's just weird to see it, and it's awesome to see it, and Todd Gurley's very upset that he did it. But it runs counter to everything. As a football player, especially a guy who's been through a few rough years, you want to go score a touchdown. How do you stop yourself from doing it? Well, sometimes you don't. And there's Gurley landing in the end zone, and there's the shot of Jamie Collins. Yeah, touchdown. And you know what? That's meaningless if the Lions don't win the game. What makes that is the Lions ultimately use that as the opening to win the game.
It's amazing. It's unreal. I mean, he's a smart football player. I believe we've seen him do this before. I can't remember the game. There was a game in the last 2 years where
I think you're right.
He stopped at the 1 yard line. Honestly, the thing that somebody is about to tackle him at the 5-yard line. And I think he thought the guy was going to bring him down. And the guy kind of fell off. And I think it kind of like he got caught by surprise where he thought, like, I think I'm going down. And the guy fell off. And he, like, oh, no, my momentum from running through the tackle and all that kind of, I don't know. It seemed that way. We'll see either way. But that was an unbelievable turn of events. Because then Matt Stafford just makes some unbelievable plays to get them down there. And that was pretty cool. Good for Detroit. All right, you good? Am I on to my next one?
You're up. What do you got next?
Well, I want to give like the Freddie Mercury Award or the Queen Award because they're more than a one-man band. You know how like Freddie Mercury and Queen, he tried to go do his own thing and he realized, damn, I'm not as good unless I'm with the band, all right? Well, like,
did he?
Yeah, he kind of had his own moment where he went off and did his own thing, and then he said, I messed up. I want to come back. And then he did a great concert at the end, right? I mean, damn, watch the movie, okay? But either way, the Kansas City Chiefs, they're more than a one-man band. They're not. They are. This is why the Kansas City Chiefs are unbelievable to me. They are. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, it was a snooze fest for him yesterday. He had to do nothing in that football game. But it doesn't matter. The Kansas City Chiefs got playmakers everywhere. It just, kick return, touchdown. Interception, return, touchdown. Frank Clark, intercepting a pass and setting them up in a good way to score that way. I mean, it's just amazing. Again, Kansas City, we think about them all the time as this high-flying act, but yet when they need to be physical or play dirty or their defense needs to have a big stop, they're capable of doing that, and that's why they're so dangerous to me. And hey, Le'Veon Bell, that looked good, all that stuff. So I thought that was a cool win for Kansas City, showed they're capable of kind of doing it in more than one way.
And Patrick Mahomes loves playing in the snow, and they got it. And we saw that coming. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And, of course, the worse it is, the better it is when it comes to snow. But it was still just enough, and it was jarring to look at the calendar and see October 25 and to see that kind of snow. But that's kind of how it is in Denver.
Yeah, it is.
It'll be 80 degrees one day, and it'll be 3 feet of snow the next day.
It will.
All right, next one for me. And I know last hour we spent a lot of time praising the current state of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and for good reason. They're awesome. They're unbeaten. They look great. They're going to be 13-3 or better. But this award is called Stop Scouting Receivers and Start Scouting Quarterbacks, because I've seen the future for Pittsburgh, and it is being in a division without Ben Roethlisberger and facing Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield, and Lamar Jackson twice a year. And yesterday's Browns-Bengals game, you didn't know where I was going there, did you? I didn't either.
Well, I thought you were going to go back to do they need a quarterback of the future from that Mike Florio book? I thought that's where you might have been going to.
Can I finish? They better be ready to replace Ben Roethlisberger because they went 20 years between Terry Bradshaw and Ben Roethlisberger with a lot of not very good quarterbacks, some guys who were okay but not good enough. And then finally in 2004, 21 years after Terry Bradshaw retired, they went top 11 pick on Ben Roethlisberger. They better have a plan because, look, we had plenty of criticism for Baker Mayfield. He was the real deal yesterday after a slow start. I mean, he was 0 for 5, and then he went 22 for 23 down the stretch and won the game against the Bengals. Joe Burrow was awesome, 406 passing yards. Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. I'm just telling you, I don't know how long Roethlisberger's got left, but they better have a plan because this AFC North, for all we say about the NFC West, this AFC North is for real. And you got some great quarterbacks, and the Steelers had better be ready to try to get, a Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers handoff and not wait 20 years between franchise quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, that better happen this year, next year. It's gotta happen here soon, in the next 2 or 3 years. You're right.
And it ain't Mason Rudolph.
No.
And it's not Josh Dobbs,
Absolutely
and it's not Duck Hodges. It's none of the guys floating around now. I think they just need to wait until Ben's done because he won't accept the fact if they have, and they're not going to have a high first-round pick the way they're playing. But listen, that's the thing that would keep me up at night. So I'm going to enjoy this season if I'm a Steelers fan, but the thing I'd be worried about is, holy crap, within a few years, we could be the team that's in last place in this division.
Yeah, well, hopefully not. Hopefully they'll see the future. The good thing is with all the quarterbacks coming out in the draft and You know, I mean, it already looks like there'll be a long list of quarterbacks in free agency next year and things like that. You know, maybe they can find a stopgap guy either way, but Pittsburgh's really good. I was going to go there, you know, with my next superlative, you know, because what the hell was your superlative there? Stop scouting receivers, start scouting quartarbacks award.
That's
good thing you stayed up all night for that one. Good thing you stayed up for that.
All night.
I'm going to sit down and come up with something creative right now at 12:45.
That's
Stop
not creative.
Scouting wide
That's
receivers.
not creative.
I maybe could have found a better way to say it, all right? I mean,
should I have done it in a pirate voice?
It wasn't as cool as our matey, right, exactly.
Oh, no, that
or
was
my
that
Queen
one
reference, my Freddie, Freddie Mercury. I'm on fire today. I mean, I'm killing it. I do want to go back to one of the 7 superlatives you just mentioned in your one superlative there, which is I want to go to, you know, they call it, they're going to call it, you saw the sign in the game, right, with the Bengals-Browns yesterday, Joe-Hio. Okay, it could be Joe-Hio. Then it's got to be Baker Natty. Does that sound good? Baker Natty, something like that. I'm trying to make a play on Baker owned Cincinnati yesterday.
Yeah, I think we get the
got the point. Okay, Baker Natty. I think that sounds good. All right, but either way, I mean, Baker Mayfield, we got to give him credit for what he did yesterday. I mean, we've been all over him. It's been very up and down, and probably more down this year than anything. But yesterday, especially the way it started, the interception on the first throw of the game, 0 for 5, it really looked like Joe Burrow and company had it clicking. Baker Mayfield just answered the bell time after time after time. And like you said, he ends the game 22 of 23. And his one incompletion was a spike to stop the clock. But a lot of big-time throws. Like, not easy slam dunk throws either. Like, oh, it's one-on-one, 30 yards down the field, bam, on the money. Oh, it's one-on-one, 15, 20 yards down the middle, bam, on the money. So good for Baker Mayfield and what he did yesterday. That was a big bounce-back win for the Browns.
Yeah, it really is amazing, and that game was back and forth, and that's one that I look forward to watching very carefully to see what happened, why it happened, how it happened.
Really is amazing. Bingo. Really is amazing.
What?
It really is amazing.
That's not bingo.
I think that's one of our bingo ones.
Is it one of mine or is it one of yours?
Yeah,
we need to add some to yours. We've missed some of yours. I'm just going to say it. I am. I'm gonna say it. I am.
Okay.
That's one of yours. Yeah. No. All right. Next one. You're familiar with the concept of snake oil, right? The snake oil, the cure-all that does absolutely nothing. Well, the Jaguars have their own brand of snake oil, which actually works. I'll call it Shad Khan's crappy football team tonic. All you have to do if you're a bad football team is play the Jaguars and you win. It's amazing. Every game they've played since winning week 1 against the Colts has been against a team that's winless or entered the game with 1 win, and the Jaguars have lost to that team. I mean, that if you are down and out, schedule the Jaguars and you will get a win. The Chargers pulled it off yesterday, and the Jaguars are off this week. They've got the 1-6 Texans the next time they play. Great news for the Texans. And look, I love Doug Marrone. I love Dave Caldwell. I love him enough that I know his name. They're into their bye week, and there's been no talk about this. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point today, gone. How is this sustainable? What have you seen from the Jaguars since week 1 that makes you look at it and say this is sustainable?
No, I know. I mean, yes. I don't know what they expected. This is the results I expected. I mean, this is where I thought they'd be. 1-6, 2-5, something like that. You know, again, what is there to hang your hat on? You know, that's the big thing. Yeah, there's some young, cool talent on the team. That doesn't mean crap in 2020 NFL. You know, there's a lot of, middle-aged, good talent on all the other teams, and they're better. So, again, yes, they're in a tough spot. And I was a little surprised this regime came back in general anyways this year. And it seemed like it was a weird fake rebuild or I don't know, whatever the hell it was. The one thing I do want to hit on that game, though, just one more time with your Jacksonville Chargers game, this just in. Justin Herbert's really good, like really freaking good. Like, wow. I mean, you saw yesterday they took the training wheels off. Stop trying to run the ball on 1st and 2nd down. Just let him throw. Let him go a little bit. He can do it all, so that was impressive.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the big reasons why Tua Tagovailoa is going to be playing when the Dolphins come out of their bye this week. We got to see what this guy has because, my goodness, what Justin Herbert has, and the Dolphins could have had him. That's the thing. that's a great coast-to-coast, apples-to-apples comparison. The Dolphins took Tua. They could have had Herbert, and Herbert is great for the L.A. Chargers. All right, you got any more?
I don't have a creative word for it, but let's give it to you might want to double that guy award, okay? Yeah, let's see. Green Bay yesterday, Aaron Rodgers, there's no Aaron Jones. Rodney Harrison made the great point last night. There's no Aaron Jones. Wait, and Devontae Adams is in the game, so I wonder who they'll give the ball a lot to in the football game. Oh, that's right, Devontae Adams. I mean, holy crap. What did the Texans think Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay were going to do? Like feature Sternberger in the game? I mean, what the hell did they think they were going to do? How many times did they have to get burned by Devontae Adams before they went, maybe we should do something else? But Rodgers and Devontae Adams were en fuego yesterday. I mean, they really were. Rodgers proved that last week was an anomaly. He seemed like he was on a mission all week, but, beating that, into everybody's brain. It was an anomaly. It was an anomaly. We're still really good. Well, he certainly, proved that point, or at least shut people up who were doubting it a little bit. And Devontae Adams, when he's healthy and hitting on all cylinders, they're a different football team because him and Rodgers do have a special connection. So that was pretty awesome. That was dicing them up yesterday by those two.
Think of how spectacular it could be if Adams could stay on the field.
Yeah.
He missed time last year.
Right.
He missed time this year, and he wasn't. And maybe the Texans just kind of misread the film from last week, and they thought, oh, Devontae Adams has missed some time. He's kind of missing just a little something. Well, yeah. He's worked his way back into shape, and the Texans paid for it in a big way. But you're right, Aaron Jones is out. How in the hell are you not taking away Devontae Adams? Because it's not like there's a first-round receiver they drafted like Justin Jefferson or someone who could burn them by their own design.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
The Packers.
Shocked.
Packers back on track.
Yeah.
Rodgers called it an anomaly last week. He said it was a wake-up call at the time. And, hey, they didn't let it turn into 2 losses. They went to Houston and took care of business.
Yeah, they did. They looked good yesterday. They did. And, of course, we know that's not a very good Houston football team. We understand that. I was surprised, though, that I thought we would get at some point to this game, but like Deshaun Watson makes some magic happen, and it's here in the fourth quarter, and it is a 1-score game, but it never got to that. Green Bay's defense looked like it did a good job of bottling up Watson from making extending plays, all those type of things all game long, and it just seemed like every time Rodgers dropped back to pass, he was gashing them.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.